Brendan Dassey trial transcript day 6, continuing on page 104, defense witness Blaine Dassey. The clerk, please be seated. Please state your name and spell your last name for the record. The witness, Blaine Dassey, D-A-S-S-E-Y. Direct examination by Attorney Freeman. Blaine, how old are you? 18. And are you currently in school? Yes. What school do you go to? Mishicot High School. Who do you live with right now? My mom, Barb. Anyone else live in the house with you? Yeah, Scott Toddick. And who's Scott? He's my stepdad. Now, do you recall who was living with you on October 31, 2005? Yes. Can you tell us who all was living there? My mom, Tom Yonda, and me, Brendan, Bobby, and Brian. Now, you've mentioned Brendan. Do you recognize Brendan? Yes. Right here? That's your brother, right? Yes. Okay, he's a year younger than you? Yes. Do you recall, again, I asked if you recalled where you lived on October 31, 2005, but do you recall the events of that day? Yes. And I'm going to have you think about that day and answer some questions, all right? Yeah, okay. Were you in school that day? Yes. Now, normally, what time do you get home from school? 3:45. What time did you get home on that day? 3:45. Was this a normal day for you then? Yes. Did you come home with anyone in particular? No. Does anyone else ride the bus with you? No. No one else on the school bus? Except for Brendan. Except for Brendan? Okay. And did Brendan come home with you that day as well? Yes. What did you guys do when you got off the bus? We walked down the long road. The long road? Yeah. Okay, so I'm sorry, the road that our house is on. Okay, so does the bus doesn't drop you off in front of your house? No. Drops you off about how far away? About a half mile. How long does it take you to get from your house to where they drop you off? About 4 minutes, 3 minutes. On that day, did you take about 3 or 4 minutes to get home that day? Yes. As you were walking with Brendan, did you notice anything? No. Did you guys talk about anything on the way from the bus stop to the house? Yes. What did you talk about? About using the phone or computer? Why did you guys talk about using the phone or the computer? I don't know, because that's all we do. Something to talk about? Yeah. Do you have just one phone and one computer? Yes. Can't both be on at the same time? No. When you got into the house, who got to use the phone? I did. What did you do? I called my friend Jason. And why did you call Jason? Because we were going to go trick-or-treating. So this was Halloween, right? Yes. So did Brendan plan on going trick-or-treating with you? No. Was anyone else home when you got home? When you and Brendan got home? No. Now, you said that you have a brother at that time that lived with you as well? Yes. And what was Bobby? Bobby. Bobby was not home? No. But did Bobby get home at any time that afternoon when you were there? I don't remember. No, I don't think he was. You don't think so? He wasn't there. So after you got done talking to Jason on the phone, what did you do? Went on the computer. And how long were you on the computer? About 30 minutes. Now, do you know where Brendan was during this time period? Yes, he was playing with the video games. So you have do you have separate rooms or are you in the same room? We're in the same room. So the computer is the same room as the TV room or the video room? Yes. Did Brendan ever leave? No. At what time did you actually leave then to meet Jason? About 5:20. Did you have supper? No. Yeah. You did have supper? Yes. Who made supper for you? Me and Brendan made it. Between 3:45 when you left at 5:20, did you ever see Brendan leave the house? No. Were you watching him all the time? Yes. You keep track of your brother that way? Yeah. You do? Okay. Now are you guys close? Would you say you're close? Yes. Did you notice from about October 31, 2005 until March of '06 whether Brendan was losing weight? Yes. Did you guys talk about that? Yes. Do you know why he was losing weight? Because everybody he knew would make fun of him because he's fat and stuff. So he wanted to lose weight so no one would make fun of him? Yes. Did that same period of time, did he seem to be overly emotional? Do you know what that means? Yeah. Did he appear to be overly emotional? Yes. He did? Did he cry a lot? Not really. He was just sad and stuff. Okay, now is that normally Brendan's character to be a little sad? I don't know. He was shy. He doesn't talk a lot. To other people? Yeah. What about to you? I don't think I don't know. Now, I asked you earlier if you ever saw Brendan go leave the house until you left to go meet Jason at 5:20. Yeah. Did you ever leave the house? No. Never went outside at all? No. At any time, did you guys look out the window? No. Do you know if Brendan looked out the window? No. You mean you don't know if he did or he didn't look out the window? No, he didn't. He was playing his video games. Did Stephen Avery, you know who Stephen Avery is, right? Yes. And who is he? He's my uncle. And how far away does he live from you? He's our neighbor, like right across, pretty close, or yeah, miles? Pretty close, pretty close. Couple 100 feet maybe? Yeah. Did he ever come over to your house? Yeah. Between 3:45 and no. 5:20 that day? No. Did anyone come over to the house at that? No. That day? Now, what time did you get home that night? About 11. About 11? Yeah. Did you see Brendan when you got in? Yes. Where was he? He was in his bed. Thank you, Blaine. I have nothing else. The court. Cross-examination by Attorney Kratz. Blaine, do you remember testifying in the trial of Stephen Avery? Yes. Do you remember in that trial being asked the question when you got home at 11 or 11:30 if you saw Brendan in your bedroom? Yes. Do you remember being asked that question? Yes. What did you tell the jury at that time? That I didn't see him? That you didn't see him, right? No verbal response. Now, in the last 4 weeks, has your memory gotten better? Yeah. It's gotten better in the last 4 weeks. I can remember. You can remember better now? Yeah. I'm sorry? Yes. Okay. Has nothing to do with your brother being on trial this time, does it? No. You said that you went trick-or-treating on the 31st. How old are you? 18. 18. The court. Could you pull that microphone a little closer, please? The witness. Yes. Attorney Kratz. Thank you, Blaine. On October 31, 2005, how old were you? 17. And who at age 17 were you going trick-or-treating with? My friend Jason and his little brothers. Where were you going trick-or-treating? Two Rivers, Manitowoc. Now, in that community, that is in Two Rivers, trick-or-treating is on actually Halloween Day. Is that right? Yes. Are you familiar with communities that have trick-or-treating perhaps the day earlier, on Sunday, the day before? Yes. And do you know around the Mishicot area if there were any communities, as you think back, that had trick-or-treating on that Sunday? I don't remember. Did you go trick-or-treating on that Sunday? That is the day before? No. All right. You told Mr. Freeman that as you walked home or as you walked down the path, and I'm going to show you what has been received as exhibit number 71. As you walked down this path, this road actually goes all the way up towards your grandmother's house. Yes, that right? You have to wait until I finish asking the question, all right? But as you walked down towards your house, you told Mr. Freeman that you didn't see anything or that you didn't see anything unusual. You remember saying that today? Yes. As you think back now, do you now remember something that you saw before you went into the house? Yeah. Why don't you tell the jury what you saw? I seen Stephen Avery walking to the burn barrel with a plastic bag in his hand, and he dropped it in there. And Stephen Avery's your uncle, is that right? Yes. Now, when Stephen Avery, you said, was walking towards a burn barrel, I'm going to, again, have you look at exhibit number 71, Blaine, and show you what is just kind of to the center and to the right of that exhibit, what looks like a burn barrel. Is that the burn barrel you're talking about? Yes. When you saw your Uncle Stephen taking something and putting it in that burn barrel, did you notice if that burn barrel was burning? That is, Yes. Was it on fire? Yes. Yes, it was already burning? Yes. And when you told this jury that you saw him walking towards that burn barrel, did you see him walking from his trailer towards that burn barrel? Yes. You said that you saw him put something in it. After putting something in that burn barrel, where did your Uncle Steve go? I think he went back to his house. Did you see him turn around and go back to his trailer? Yes. All right. Now, you told this jury today that you left at about 5:20 to go to your friend Jason's. Is that right? Yes. How did you get to Jason's that day? His mom, Carmen Winch. His mother's name is Carmen? Yeah. And her last name is Winch? Is that, yes, right? Winsch? Yes. Is that right? Okay. Now, where did she pick you up? At the end of where the bus drops us off? So you had to walk a ways from your trailer, which is on exhibit number 71 here, back up that road for Mrs. Winch to pick you up. Is that, yes, right? You have to wait until I'm done asking the question, okay? Okay. Now, did she pick you up at 5:20 or did you leave your house at 5:20? She picked me up at 5:20. So is it fair to say that you left your house sometime before that? Yeah. Now, you're telling us today that you got home at about what time? 11. When you got home at about 11, why don't you tell the jury what you saw before you walked into your trailer? I seen a person standing out by the bonfire. Now, up until now, we haven't heard about you seeing a bonfire. Why don't you tell us about that? Say that question over? Sure. Why don't you tell the jury about the bonfire that you saw? It was about 5 foot high. All right. Can you tell the jury where you saw that bonfire? Behind Stephen's garage. All right. I'm going to have you look at exhibit number 71 again. And this dark area right to the left of the screen, is that the area that you saw that fire? Yes. Now, when you came walking into your house, were there any obstructions to your view of that bonfire? In other words, was there anything that blocked your view between you and that fire? No. You're telling this jury that you saw somebody standing by that bonfire. Is that, yes, right? You have to wait until I'm done asking the question. Were you able at that time to identify who it was who was standing by that bonfire? Yeah, it was a bigger guy. A bigger Stephen guy? Stephen's size. Stephen's size? Yeah. All right. Again, do you remember about 4 weeks ago being asked that same question? Yes. What did you tell the jury about 4 weeks ago? That I said that I don't know who was standing out there. All right. But after talking to Mr. Freeman and after being called in your brother's case, you now think it was a bigger guy, somebody like Stephen. Is that, yes, right? Attorney Freeman, objection to the question. There is no evidence that this witness talked about the court. Attorney Kratz, I can ask it a different way. The court, please do. I direct that the jury not take notice of that question. Attorney Kratz, that's fine. Let me ask you this, Blaine. Between that hearing, the Stephen Avery trial, and today, did you in fact talk to Mr. Freeman? No. You haven't talked to Mr. Freeman or Mr. Edelstein? No. So there hasn't been any conversation at all between you and them, is that right? No. All right. Between that hearing, though, and today, you agree that your testimony is different. Is that true? I'll be more specific if you want me to be. Yeah. About the person that you saw out by that fire that night, yes? Yes. And your testimony is different as to whether or not your brother Brendan was home? That's different than it was 4 weeks ago, right? Yes. You said that you ate at home that night. That is, in your trailer. Is that your testimony? Yes. Do you remember on the 7th of November, that's like a year and a half ago, being interviewed by 2 agents of the Division of Criminal Investigation? Yes. Do you remember telling or being asked by those agents where you ate dinner that night? Yes. Do you remember what you told those agents that night? No, I don't remember. Remember telling them that you had dinner at your friend Jason's house that night? No. No, you don't remember telling them that? No. Okay, now your Uncle Steve had a vehicle which was called a Suzuki Samurai. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yes. Let me just get to that exhibit number. I'm showing you exhibit number 117. Do you recognize that vehicle? Yes. What is that? That's his Suzuki. And you knew that to be your Uncle Steve's Suzuki? No, it's my grandpa's. Okay, I'm sorry, but you recognize it in this photo, at least, to be in your Uncle Steve's garage. Is that right? Yes. Now, on the 31st, that is on Halloween, do you know where that Suzuki was parked? Yes. Can you tell the jury, please, where on the 17th that was parked? It was on the outside, on the left side